What will you miss most about Jennifer?
Ugh, I will miss so much about Jennifer. The thing I'll miss most, probably, I don't know, our conversations, but also um, just talking about cases and stuff with her because I could always go to her for her opinion or for help. And I could always tell that she just really cared about what she was doing. I never felt when I went to her that I was bothering her or anything like that. She always just made me feel really welcome and like I could always go to her.
Everything I think is the best answer. She go getter, just you can count on her reliability. Shows up to work every day and puts the effort in. So
I'm gonna miss her laugh, and I always remember her walking by my office, and she'd occasionally stop and visit. So
A lot of things. I think for her, she's very reliable. It's kind of like I always know she's there. She doesn't hardly ever take leave. So I don't know if it's the thing I'll miss the most, but that's the first thing that comes to mind is she's almost always here. She's very, very reliable. Yeah, we've both kind of been here a long time, so I've gone to her for help a lot of times. So I'll just miss having her here for that.
All the extras she does for us. And of course, she's my smoke break partner.
I will miss how strong-willed she is. How she just does not put up with anything. And I loved how she would come and talk in my little office, and if I was having trouble with something, it's no big deal. You can do it. I just love that attitude of her.
I will miss her stories about her and her daughter, I think. I love hearing about her and her daughter and their vacations and some of the stuff that they do.
I'll miss her thoroughness. She really knew what she was doing. You felt like you could ask her questions and she would help you. And I'll definitely miss seeing her around. You get used to the team and then it gets broken up. So shame on you, Jennifer. What is your favorite memory with Jennifer?
I don't know, probably just different conversations that we would have in the office when she stopped by. She would just tell me funny things, like maybe funny things like she was going through with her daughter or stuff like that. And it was just kind of nice to have that levity and have somebody to share stuff with.
again, all the memories. We didn't have a whole lot of interaction outside of work, obviously, and I've really only got to know her over the last 2 years. But just the fact that no matter what, I knew that there was that steady person down there, helping steer this crazy ship that we're on.
Feeding Helga.
One time we were in Manhattan doing a LSIR training, and it came to the point where we were sitting in that big auditorium type place, and they were doing the case planning section of it. I didn't know what in the world because I was unfamiliar with a lot of this stuff. But Jennifer, she was either sitting right next to me or just one down, and so the lady kept calling up there, and Jennifer, she would just rattle off the answers to this case planning stuff. And I was thinking, just because of the gravity, how close I was, she just assumed, well, that section seems to understand case planning, so she would move on. And I don't think, oh, thank God, because if she would have called on me, I didn't know a thing about it, and I always think, I'm so glad she was knocking those answers out, and so the teacher would move on.
Probably at CACSO a couple times, just talking with her. We've taken a couple car rides there. Yeah, it was probably not so much the work stuff as much as just kind of talking to her and hearing some of her stories, and kind of, that's another thing I'll miss is she's very open to talking. She's been through a lot of things in her life. She's open about that. So I'll miss that too.
What's your favorite thing about Jennifer?
My favorite thing about Jennifer, well, I really kind of like her dry sense of humor. She is very sarcastic, and I really like that. But I also just like working with her. I like how passionate she is about kids. I like how passionate she is about making improvements, things that could be done to help the kids, and just how knowledgeable she is. I mean, she just knows so much about this and about the juvenile world, and I really appreciate that, and I'm really gonna miss that.
Say everything. She just her willingness to accept me when I came over, which I know had to be difficult because I was the outsider, to how helpful she was and giving me information and just being there every step of the way. So
Just honestly, probably just she's upfront, does what she needs to, doesn't cause problems.
She just keeps it real. Like, you really don't have to wonder about what she's thinking, what's on her mind. She's gonna come and just lay it all out.
I admire her work ethic, her consistency, kind of just her principles. She kind of knows what she thinks and knows why she thinks it, and she doesn't really waver from that, and I admire.
I love how strong-willed she is. I love that about her. How she just does not take crap from anyone.
Just her friendliness and how accepting she is.
If Jennifer were an animal, what animal would she be?
I think she would be, I want to say a chupacabra. Only because you feel like you know it's there, but you don't know a heck of a lot about it. And I think that's intentional. I think that there's a mystery about her that I feel is very intentional, but she's still very personable. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
If Jennifer were an animal, she would be a honey badger because I think it's unassuming, the honey badger, but it will absolutely annihilate you.
I think she would be a tiger.
Ooh, like a mama bear. Mama bear guarding her cub.
a lion. She's strong, very proud, aggressive when she needs to be, is outgoing. Yeah, I think a lion best describes her.
And I'm gonna have to say Tasmanian devil.
I think the first thing that comes to mind is a lioness because she's so powerful.
Like a hybrid between like a golden retriever because she's friendly, and like a wolf because she can also be very not aggressive, but yeah, she kind of has an edge but also a soft side, both.
If Jennifer were an office supply, what would she be?
She would be a stapler because she just holds things together. She holds me together. She holds us all together, I think, at some point.
I think she'd be a stapler.
She would be a copier because if I could just copy everything that she does, I would do that.
Maybe a calculator, because she's always calculated. Everything she does seems intentional and with a purpose.
Maybe a ruler because she's very by the book, I guess.
All right, I'm gonna have to go with tape dispenser. She's the tape because she keeps all of us together.
What will you miss most about Courtney?
What I will miss most about Courtney is our conversations. She's really good at asking questions and kind of, just taking interest in people and making you feel like she cares, and so I'll miss that about her.
Courtney. Courtney was like my co-leader. In my times of craziness and stress, she would calm me, and then in her times of craziness and stress, I would calm her. So we're like peanut butter and jelly.
Her positive attitude. She always, if something was wrong, she would have a way to spin a positive outlook on it. And I really appreciated that.
Her training and guidance.
And she's always very helpful to me, and she always brought treats pre-COVID. But
I will miss our conversations. We had a lot of conversations, Courtney and I. Most of it was about work. Some of it wasn't. The thing is, with Courtney, I'm high-strung, and she's really mellow. And so when those two combined, at first it was a little bit of a learning curve, but we kind of figured each other out and kind of got on the same page. And after that, we were off and running. But she really showed me a lot. She helped me a lot. I could tell she was sincere in what she was trying to help me to build my skill set within the probation world. So I'll miss her guidance.
Courtney and I both, I think, are kind of in similar wavelengths with like spiritual things somewhat, and just kind of thinking outside the box, liking to kind of explore those kinds of things. Again, it's not really work related, but we've kind of had some of those conversations, which I really appreciated. As far as work, I'll miss her energy. her kind of creative thinking. And again, she's been incredibly helpful, incredibly friendly whenever I've needed help or support. I'll miss that for sure.
What is your favorite memory with Courtney?
One time we had to go to court in Harvey County, and I was relatively new, and it kind of gave us an opportunity to just get out and get on the road and visit with just the two of us, and so that's something I always think about.
Gosh, I've known Courtney for a long time. I don't know. I think again, like there's so many memories, but just when I came over, same thing, kind of with Jennifer. Like she just was there every step of the way, and just I'm forever grateful for that.
My favorite memory with Courtney is she and her wife Robin accompanied me to a 5K walk, and in May of 2021, and that really meant a lot to me.
Might be by some of our EMC events and just seeing her out in that setting.
I think like Jennifer, we've had some good conversations at Caxo, driving around, to and from. That's a good memory that I have. There's tons. Her stopping in, the high fives.
If Courtney were an animal, what animal would she be?
I'm gonna go with a penguin, and I just think the fact that like just her positive attitude always, and her walk around the office, and just every time I see her, I just think of like this happy penguin, from Happy Feet.
I think Courtney would be a shark, but not necessarily a great white. She's not trying to kill you, but she wants you to know she's there. You see the fin coming out of the water, it's, okay, wait a minute. You're on alert, but it's not necessarily dangerous, if that makes any sense.
A hawk, so that she could fly over everything and see what everything is doing, what everyone is doing, and where she needs to land.
I think she'd be a cat. She seems to tend to hop around and pounce around everywhere.
A giraffe is what I think of because she's so tall and elegant.
So I want to think of like, for some reason, like an otter is coming to mind, but a little more high energy. So like an otter on Adderall, maybe.
What's your favorite thing about Courtney?
My favorite thing about Courtney is her enthusiasm. She has a lot of enthusiasm, and she really cares about what she does.
Her passion. Again, whether it's work related or otherwise, we've talked about different movies or home projects, and once she's in clay making and just all kind of different things. Once she's into something, she's into it, and I can appreciate that.
I would just have to say her patience in training and everything, and she doesn't roll her eyes or anything.
She always looks for the positive in things, and it's so important to have that in your life, and I try to keep people that are positive in my life.
I like her encouraging nature, her work ethic. She's very thorough, very willing to help, trying to bring the best out of everybody else. Those would be what I would say.
If Courtney were an office supply, what would she be?
A highlighter.
Glue. She keeps the office glued together.
A filing cabinet because she's just so good at getting the stuff organized. I don't know.
I think she'd be a sticky note.
It's not an office supply, but a blender.
Easy, whiteout, because I don't know how many documents she's given me that were so many scribbles and blue ink, and I think she ran through one whole pen just on one affidavit I was doing one time. So I would say whiteout.
A stapler to hold everything together.
Hey guys, I'm gonna miss you guys. Good luck.